Radio.
Triple H, Mike Dunsmore, Fox
man.
Sports Radio.
How are you?
Doing excellent, man. Great to see you tonight. I want you to take me to that first Christmas dinner where you were sitting down with the McMahon family. Was there awkwardness in the air? Were you comfortable?
You got to step back. It wasn't the first Christmas dinner. It was the first dinner at the McMahon's house that was the most awkward, because if you know Vince at all, he went out of his way to make me as uncomfortable as humanly possible. You got to... I'd known him for a long time. We'd worked side by side together for years. Vince was probably, for lack of a better term, one of my best friends in a way in the business. I worked with him every day. We had a very close working relationship before I ever met his daughter. And then, when all that happened, the first time you go over there, it's in a different light, you know what I mean? And I'd been there before, but I'd never been there in that light, and it was very awkward, yeah, to say the least. Lots of sweating on my part.
What were they serving first,
I don't even remember. Vince was just serving an attitude is what he was serving, and it was all aimed directly. It's one of those things where, like, you're there, and he just is not talking, and then everything that you do, he's just looking at you as if to say, like, you really going to do that? You know what I mean?
Who the hell do you think you are coming into my house after my daughter?
Exactly. And, I mean, I knew he was just messing with me, but it didn't matter. You know what I mean? It was very a long, awkward evening, yes.
So what made D-Generation X in the 90s better than the NWO?
You know what? I think what made D-Generation X to me better was the fact that we all got along so good. The NWO was really a bunch of guys kind of doing their own thing and kind of all clinging on to each other, trying to get themselves into a better position. DX was just, like, when we started it with me and Sean, it was just two guys that were really good friends working towards the same goal. We didn't care what anybody thought. We were doing it, but it was for us. You know what I mean? When X-Pac and the other guys came in, Road Dogg and Billy and all those guys came in, we were all guys that all got along and all had a good time together and all enjoyed doing the same thing, trying to get to the same goal. It wasn't about individual egos, and I think when you truly, I think one of the things that people enjoy the most about DX is that they can see the fact that Sean and I are having so much fun doing it. You know what I mean? It translates through the product. If
you could have one professional athlete step into the ring with you, who would it be?
Oh boy. Geez, I don't know.
What about Jose Canseco?
No, I met Jose Canseco. He kind of bored me. I think maybe I'd go for like Tiger Woods or something like that, because Tiger's got that quiet thing, but he's got a sense of ego about him and stuff like that.
Solid build to the man,
He's got
too.
A solid build to him. Yeah. He's a little bit jacked up for golf, and I think it would be way interesting to get in there and I'll play around a golf with him, and then he can get in the ring and try to jump off top rope.
What makes professional wrestlers so similar to pro athletes?
I think we're some of the greatest athletes in the world. I think you can ask anybody that has crossed over into our business. This Monday night, Floyd Mayweather will be the special guest host in Vegas. Ask Floyd. Floyd 2 years ago did WrestleMania for us with Big Show. During that time leading up to it, I trained Floyd for it, so I know what his respect level for our business is. Man, it's a very difficult business, and the athletics part of it, show aside, is very real, and we're great athletes, and we're also great actors too, and I think that's something that hopefully we're making people see here.
You're athletes with personality, and that's not what a lot of guys have. Worst gimmick of all time that you've seen?
Worst gimmick of all time that I've seen is somewhere about 15 years ago or so, somebody thought it'd be a good idea to bring in this guy dressed as a snob from Greenwich. And that's never going to work, you know what I mean?
Last question. What do you make of the success of Brock Lesnar in the UFC? And it's been so instant for him as well.
Oh, it's awesome, man. There's a part of... and I'm proud to have worked with him and been around him and stuff like that. Brock was a great guy. I think there's, in some ways, misunderstandings to people about our business with Brock. Brock just didn't like to travel. He didn't like the, and when he left, some guys were angry. And I never was. I kind of just felt like, hey, it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And glad that he figured it out now than 5 more years down the road. And, when it would have been even worse. You know, he got to a point where he didn't like to travel and he didn't like the fame of it, and now he gets to be home every day, he gets to train, and he gets to fight, and it was never a doubt that he was a tough guy. I mean, Brock's a monster, you know.
What do you make of his trash talking? Because it's got to come straight from his days in the WWE, and nobody's doing it in mixed martial arts. I personally love it.
I think it's awesome. I think you got to draw the line. You can't bash your sponsors. They're paying the bills, you know what I'm saying? But I do think it's great. And the thing is, though, is there's a lot of people I think that Brock Lesnar is putting on a persona, a WWE persona, to go out there and perform. That's Brock Lesnar. That is Brock Lesnar. I don't. When I see Dana White do interviews saying, "Don't go out there and be a performer, Brock. Just go out there and be an athlete." He's not. That's him. You know what I mean? I do truly believe that's Brock, and I don't think it's him being a jerk or anything. I just think that's the way he is. He's good. He knows it, and he'll stick it in your face. And if you've had a beef with him, he's gonna, to get in your face about it. I mean, that's just him. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, listen, the best boxers in the world, the best fighters in the world are guys that can bring people. They don't have to be the best technical boxer. You know what I mean? They got to be the best fighter. Lennox Lewis was an unbelievable fighter technically. But really, did he draw a lot of money as a boxer? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Not nearly what a Tyson did or a Floyd Mayweather did. Is Floyd that great of a boxer? Arguable. But he knows how to make people come and see him fight. And I think that's what Brock Lesnar's doing.
Triple H, awesome stuff. It's great to have DX
Thanks,
back.
man. Appreciate it. It's great to be back.
Thank you.